I'm not going to bore you with another video on the benefits of sleep and why you should be sleeping more. In a perfect world, we never use alarm clocks, we sleep as much as we need, and we go to bed early in a nice, relaxed state. But if you're watching this, chances are you're in the real world. One with pressures, a stressful job or business, young kids, and let's face it, a busy lifestyle. Just like the 4,000 busy professionals my team and I at RNT Fitness have helped to lose 20 to 60 pounds, keep it off, and build healthier, fitter lives. Most people I know in this real world sleep less than they should be. And for most I know who don't sleep enough, it's not always because they're binging on Netflix or mindlessly scrolling. If that's the case, stop this video and fix that first. Instead, it's because they got a lot to do, or they have young kids who wake up early, or their business or career just requires a lot of time. I saw this firsthand growing up, watching my mum build her business whilst looking after the family, waking up at 3 to 4 a.m. daily just because she needed those extra hours awake. For others, especially in the corporate world, staying late at work is seen as a necessity, even if they're not being productive, and it's completely out of their control as to when they can leave, which is why the advice of just go to sleep earlier isn't always sensible. If this sounds like you, then you need to learn how to sleep faster and maximize the time you do spend on a pillow. Sleep is important. If you want to improve your fitness and well-being on less than optimal sleep, the 6 strategies in this video may be worth trying. Number 1. Wake up at the same time every day. This makes such a difference in how you feel throughout the day that it should be the first thing you try. What time you make this is individual, and it doesn't really matter too much. What's important is that it's a time that you can stick to every day, even on weekends or your days off work. That's the real key. I've recently been experimenting with a wake up time of 5:15 a.m. and so far it's working great. I used to wake up between 4 and 5 a.m., but it became unrealistic to follow on the weekend, which would then throw off my sleep cycle for the whole week ahead. I've also tried 7 a.m. and whilst I love the extra hours in bed, I didn't like feeling behind on the day or having to then do my workouts in the afternoon. In the military, everyone has to wake up at 5 a.m. no matter what. And from looking deeper into this, it seems to take 21 days or so for your body to adjust and make it automatic. Since starting this experiment, I'd agree with that time frame. Number 2, don't hit snooze. I know how tempting it can be to snooze your alarm. When I was training clients from 7 a.m. in the city as a personal trainer with an hour commute as well, I had no chance to snooze because if I woke up late, I'd lose business. But now I work from home, on my own schedule, it can be more tempting. One tactic I used to love in my early 20s before having kids and living at home was putting my alarm clock on the other side of the room and making the sound so loud that if it stayed on longer than a few seconds, everyone in the house would wake up too. Now, of course, once you switch your alarm off, you've got to avoid the temptation to go back, because remember, what snoozing will do is make waking up eventually even more difficult. By falling back to sleep, your brain is now back at the start of your sleep cycle, making it the worst possible time to wake up. This will be hard to begin with, but your body will adapt. It always does. And if you need more sleep, take naps during the day instead, or sleep earlier if it's within your control. Since becoming a dad, I use 2 alarm clock strategies. First is if my daughter decides to wake up early, I'm up. The second is I'll always put my Garmin watch on to vibrate on my wrist for 5:15 a.m. So if she does sleep in, I get some quality time before she wakes up to either work, journal, or go for a run. Number 3, do something physical when you wake up. Having a morning routine is powerful. The problem with most of the content on morning routines out there is they're just not realistic to maintain day in, day out. One practice which I've seen work really well is doing something physical when you wake up or in the early hours of the day. This can be anything from weight training, mobility work, or cardio. You may have come across debates between whether it makes a difference doing your cardio in a fed or a fasted state. Metabolically speaking, there's none. But I think there's more to it. I love doing my cardio fasted because it wakes me up, allows me to have time to myself when it's quiet outside, and sets the tone for the day. Right now, as I'm filming this, I'm running 3 times a week, first thing in the morning. And I'll use this time to plan my day, visualize my goals, and observe my thoughts and feelings. This becomes especially powerful and meditative when you go unplugged, with no music or podcast distracting you. Getting fresh air and sunlight when you wake up can skyrocket your mood, energy, and productivity in the morning. It also helps regulate your body clock too, and lets your body know it's the time of day to have more energy. Meaning, when it comes to bedtime, you'll fall asleep easier and have deeper, higher quality sleep. If you have a family, the best way to implement this is to discuss with your spouse which mornings are yours and which are theirs. That way, childcare is covered and both of your health and personal goals are being met. I've seen lots of successful, busy people adopt this practice, including The Rock, who talks about his morning routine of waking up at 4 a.m., having a coffee, and doing his cardio. In fact, I actually remember seeing him train in Genesis Gym in Wembley for 2 weeks straight at 6 a.m. whilst he was filming Fast and Furious, having already done his cardio at 4 a.m. the same day. All being said, I know for some of you watching this, training in the morning isn't possible, whether it's because of kids, work, or whatever is going on in life. If the evening is the only option, what I'd recommend is stay away from stimulants or pre-workouts and avoid psyching yourself up too much for your training. You want to avoid stressing the nervous system out too much. You're too wired to sleep when you get into bed at night. Number 4, avoid caffeine 10 hours before bed. This could be a tough one for many of you who are reliant on caffeine to get you through the day, but it's a simple way to immediately improve the sleep you get. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 hours, meaning if you drink a cup of coffee at 1 p.m. containing 200 milligrams of caffeine, you still have 50 milligrams in your system at 11 p.m. I try to tell clients to limit their coffee consumption to 2 cups a day, capping it at midday, or ideally 10 a.m. And if they're drinking 8 to 10 cups as a bad habit, which isn't uncommon in city executives, then should gradually reduce this by 1 cup every few days to wean themselves off slowly. The best time to have caffeine is in the morning. And if you time the dose just before a training or a cardio session, you'll be able to put the extra energy and metabolic stimulus to good use. I personally love a pour over V60 coffee first thing in the morning before a workout, and then again before my first block of deep work around 9-10 a.m. After this, I'll stop any caffeine and switch to decafs if I do want a drink in the afternoon. Number 5, limit electronics 60 minutes before bed. In the hyper-connected world we live in, this is a tricky one. The combination of emails, social media, texts, and calls can make it difficult to switch off at night. In an ideal world, if you can switch off all electronics an hour before bed, you'll sleep much better for it. For many, myself included, even this is pushing it. So what I do is try and get at least 20-30 minutes of nothing before bed. Even this small window makes a difference. And I think everyone, no matter what job you've got, can implement this electronic fast for better sleep. This is a great time to read a book, write in a journal, meditate, stretch, or have a shower. Whatever it is, they all work. I think as long as you're off stimulating electronics, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as it's relaxing. My personal favorite is stretching whilst chatting to my wife about the day. The reason electronics are an issue is that the blue light emitted acts as artificial sunlight and makes it difficult for the body to sleep through disrupting its body clock. The blue light makes the body think it's daytime and so inhibits melatonin production, which is what regulates your sleep cycle. I recommend downloading f.lux for your computer and activating night shift on your iPhone or iPad. It works by automatically adjusting the color temperature of your screen and attempts to match the light of your screen to the natural light outside. Other quick wins include putting your phone screen on black and white and setting time limits so you can control the urge to check things late at night. And of course, don't take your phone into the bedroom with you. There are some things you can control which help, and leaving your phone behind is a big one. Number 6, improving quality of nutrition. No matter how busy our days are, nutrition is another variable within our control. One of the best ways to improve the quality of your sleep, even if limited, is to improve your body composition through better nutrition. Eating junk late at night or stuffing yourself before bed can really impact your sleep and digestion. Eating at maintenance or at a slight calorie deficit, depending on your goals, with a whole food, high fiber diet is a fantastic way to improve your health and sleep. Another tactic I found to work well is to set aside a bit of more of your daily calorie intake to be consumed in your final meal. Not in a way where you're eating massive dinners and going to bed full, but I personally find having a few more calories at dinner helps me relax in the evenings. Allocating calories this way is also great for your social life, as it means your dinners can be a little bigger without blowing the overall calorie goal. On the note of socials, one of the best ways to improve your sleep quality is to limit alcohol intake. Even one drink can impact your sleep. So whilst you may think a nightcap helps you wind down and relax, it drastically compromises the quality of your sleep. By the way, if you'd like to know how to eat to lose weight and improve your health, check out this video where I break down step by step what and when to eat to maximize results with a busy lifestyle. To wrap up, the best way to implement the advice in this video is to take it step by step and monitor your body's response. Implement one habit, assess how your sleep is over the next few weeks, and then add another, and so on. If you know of anyone who struggles with their sleep quality and needs to sleep smarter and faster, please share this video with them. I'll see you on the next one.